Short-term financing. Short-term finance, often referred to as bridging finance, usually refers to loans mostly offered on terms up to 12 months. So why do firms need short-term financing? Firms may prefer to borrow now for their inventory or other short-term asset needs rather than wait until they have saved enough. And also cash flow from operations may not be sufficient to keep up with growth-related financing needs. Advantages of short-term financing. It is easier to arrange, it is less expensive, and it affords the borrower more flexibility. Now for disadvantages of short-term financing. Interest rate fluctuates more often. Refinancing is frequently needed, and delinquent payment may be detrimental to the credit rating of the borrower that is already experiencing a liquidity problem. Sources of short-term financing. We have the trade credit, stretching of payables, accruals, short-term bank loans, bankers' acceptances, commercial finance company loans, commercial papers, receivable financing, and inventory financing. Now, for the trade credit, it is an agreement between two parties, the buyer and the seller. The buyer receives the invoice sent by the seller specifying the goods purchased, the purchase price, the total amount to be paid, and the terms of purchase. Example of terms in the trade credit is 2/10 net 60. If you're gonna pay the first 10 days, you will have 2% discount, and the net 60 is the days you agreed upon to pay it back. We also have free trade credit, in which credit received during the discount period, and costly trade credit is loss of discount if you do not pay within the discount period. Advantages of trade credit. Compare cost of foregoing a possible cash discount against the advantages of trade credit, which is convenience and availability of trade credit and greater flexibility as a means of financing.
What is a commercial paper? Commercial paper is an unsecured short-term debt instrument issued by a corporation, typically for the financing of accounts payable and inventories and meeting short-term liabilities. Only companies possessing the highest credit rating can issue commercial papers. Commercial paper is also sold at a discount in the form of short-term promissory note. It is also rated. The higher the credit rating, the lower the interest rate charged. What is receivable financing? There are four forms of receivable financing. These are pledging of accounts receivable, assignment of accounts receivable, factoring of accounts receivable, and discounting of promissory note. Pledging of accounts receivable is a process of using receivables as loan collateral. This is done in a non-notification basis, which means that the firm's customers are not informed that their account or obligation to the firm is attached as collateral. This is with recourse basis, meaning in case of non-collection of receivables, it does not free the firm from its obligation to pay its debt on maturity date. Assignment of accounts receivable. It is a process in which the borrower assignor assigns the accounts receivable to the creditor assignee as collateral to the loan. Assignment is executed by signing a security agreement. Like pledging, the assigner retains ownership over the accounts receivable. Cash advances is on a certain percent of the accounts receivable assigned. Your journal entry will look like this way in assignment of accounts receivable. Factoring of accounts receivable. There is an outright sale of accounts receivable to the bank or financial institution called a factor. This is without recourse basis, which means that the financing company assumes the full responsibility of collecting the accounts receivable, and in the event of non-collection, the financing company can no longer collect from the seller company. Discounting of promissory note. This is conversion to cash by selling the notes to a financial institution at a discount. It is with recourse, which means the company discounting the note agrees to pay the financial institution if the maker dishonors the note. So this is the formula in getting the discount. What is inventory financing? Inventory financing happens when a firm has nothing to offer as collateral for a loan. Inventory as collaterals requires consideration of marketability, perishability, and market price stability to give assurance that such inventories could be liquidated in an amount sufficient to recover the loan in case of non-payment. A good collateral inventory is one that is relatively standard and can be sold. Also, inventory financing should take into account the difficulty and expenses associated with selling the inventories to recover the loan obtained. In general, inventories comprise of raw materials, goods in process, finished goods, and supplies. Among the inventories, the raw materials and finished goods serve as the best collateral to offer. For example, let's say a car dealer wants to increase inventory, buying more cars because of an expected increase in new car sales. The dealer must purchase the inventory from the car manufacturer, and vehicles are expensive. So the dealer then gets a loan from a financing company based on the value of the cars. Inventory financing is part of the production cycle of buying, making, and selling. When a car is sold, the dealer can pay off the portion of the loan obtained related to the car, or purchase more inventory to sell.
Okay, so another source of short-term financing is accruals. Okay, so accruals are expenses already incurred but not yet paid off by the company. Some of these expenses are salaries and wages, taxes, and interest payment. So salaries and wages, these are the compensation given to employees. However, they are not paid daily. With a discrepancy, the company is able to benefit from short-term financing. So example for that, okay, so if ever that your company have 100 employees who earn 250 pesos per day, and the payment of which takes place after 15 days. So, 100 employees times 250 pesos per day times 15 days equals 375,000. So, the accrued salaries and wages is 375,000. Okay, next is taxes. These are the involuntary fees which are imposed individuals or corporations to finance government activities and can be paid monthly, quarterly, semi-annually, and annually. Next is interest payment. Okay, it is a payment of interest on a loan or mortgage. Okay, so the interest accrues every day, but the payment of the interest will take place only upon the agreed time of payment. So another source of short-term financing is banker's acceptance. Okay, so it is a short-term debt instrument issued by a firm which is guaranteed by a commercial bank. It is a type of short-term financing in a sense that they mature in less than a year or less than 180 days. Next source of short-term financing is commercial finance company loans. Okay, so it is when credit is unavailable from banks, a company is in dire financial straits, has to go to other financing or lending institutions. The next one is short-term bank loans. Okay, so these are loans secured from banks which are payable in 1 year. Okay, so the reasons why companies borrows money. Okay, first, to cover for the prices of the goods purchased. Next is to take advantage of the cash discount offered by the seller. Next is to cover for the operating activities of the company, to cover for the down payment in the acquisition of fixed asset, to reserve cash from unexpected activities of the company, and to meet cash dividend payments.